Welcome to Deep Dive with HPE Networks. I'm your host, Mike Coker. Today we have Killion from HPE. Let's talk about Mist assurance.
Okay, so here's something that I think everyone knows, they just don't consciously think about. It's this: for 20 some odd years, network design has been infrastructure-centric. It's been focused on things like, is this access point up? What does bandwidth utilization look like on your uplinks? Is this configuration correct? And so for 20 years, vendors have been releasing tools that were built to answer that question. Are these devices up? Are the jelly beans green or red? And you want the jelly beans to be green. Well, Mist came along and asked a different question. How is your user's experience? And that is the root question that we want to answer. And granted, that's predicated on things like the access point being up and your WAN link having bandwidth, but it goes further than that. So it's not just asking, is the AP up? It's saying, how long is it taking users to get connected to that access point? And then once they're connected, are they getting a DHCP address? And is your radius server, is it responding to their authentication requests? And then what about DNS when they're trying to resolve and get to locations? Is that functioning? And it's not just pre-connection. It's not just, is this working and now I'm connected, so I'm done and now that user's off. Yeah. With Mist, we passively gather, and I'll just use wireless as the example. We passively gather 150 different pieces of telemetry from every single user every single minute. We are measuring user experience, and we are maniacal about measuring user experience because the question is no longer, is the network up? But rather, are my users having a good experience? And I'll give you one final quote on this. He said, we looked at lots of solutions, and our legacy solution, they could tell me, like, how is the experience of the top 10 users, or maybe the top 50? Only Mist could tell me for any one of the over 1 million customers that are connected to our infrastructure at any given point in time. Mist can tell me for any one of those 1 million users, are they having a good experience or are they having a bad experience? And if they're having a bad experience, here's why. Yeah. And so that's for us is the fundamentally different question that goes beyond this legacy, are devices up and are they configured correctly? Yeah. But now that, okay, consider that table stakes. Yep. Now it's the next question of, even when that's true, are users having a good experience? Yeah.
And I have a perfect story to go along with this, and anybody that knows me has heard of this pitch. One of my previous companies that I worked at, I was a manager, and we had, it was during the pandemic, we had, I won't say who, but very well-known wireless vendor on all of our locations, and we were switching over to Mist. And we had done this in the Virginia office, and luckily had done this. He came in and did an all-hands speech to the entire organization worldwide, everybody's remote, and his Wi-Fi kept on going down. And so he was not a happy camper. We looked into it. We figured out within 2 minutes, because of Mist, that his MacBook was dropping his DHCP leaks. So call help desk, swap out Mac, no big deal. But my problem, what I always tell my customers are, had we not migrated that facility, that office, he would have, had the issue continuously. We would have replaced the access point. I would replace maybe the switch port or something, and then, the next all hands meeting a month later, 2 months later, he would have had the same issue, and then Mike would be out of a job because I was the manager. The network is the problem, and that would have been it. So I always say, Mist saved my job, and so I always tell that story.
I love that. This is every network engineer is extremely familiar with just the phrase "mean time to innocence." Yeah. If you because you're the foundation. You are what everything is running over. And so if anything is slow, if anything isn't working correctly, it's you are guilty until proven innocent.
Yeah, and that's where I love this, because the telemetry data, like you said, all those points just gives you that visibility into,
That's right.
Hey, my Wi-Fi's not working good on my phone. Well, it's because you're 300 feet away at the closest access point and you're outside. Of course it's not gonna work.
That's right.
So different things like that, it just gives you that kind of that deep dive, and that the ease of the visibility, right? Of just like, it's a single pane of glass and you're seeing what all the issues are. And then we'll get into Marvis too, and how that, alerts you and whatnot. So
yeah, it's really moving from a world of saying like, oh wow, my connection is fast.
Yeah.
Look, I can go to speedtest.net and look how many gigabits per second I'm getting. And it's moving to instead saying, my mission critical business applications perform better now under load.
Yeah.
Like they are more reliable, they are more resilient, and they simply run better. And it's because you're able to eliminate all of those other issues that you may not even be aware of with other platforms.
100%.